Welcome to ET Studios. I'm Himanshi Tiwari and we are coming to you from the Great India Retail Summit 2025. Now today, we are diving into one of the most exciting shifts in retail, experiential shopping. Now gone are the days when a store was just a place to buy things. Now it is all about immersive experiences that keep customers coming back. But is this the future of retail or just a passing trend? So to break it down, I have with me a stellar panel. Please join me in welcoming Salil Kumar, Director of CRC, Rahul Singh, CEO, The Beer Cafe, Vishal Telkar, National Head Business Development, Taco Bell India. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, so let's get started with a question that's on everyone's mind at this at this point in time. You know, we keep hearing about that customers today, they don't believe in shopping as just buying, right? It's more of an experience, and each and every one of us are here to trying to sell an experience to the consumers. So in your sense, if in one word, you can describe, just to start this panel of one word, you can describe the current status of the whole experiential retail. How do you look at it currently? Starting with you, Salil, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Tiwari, for this lovely session. आपको मैं बहुत आसान शब्दों में समझाना चाहूँगा. अगर आप आज से 35 साल पहले के एयरपोर्ट देखते होंगे तो शायद 3000 फुट की बिल्डिंग होती थी. आप डायरेक्ट जा रहे हैं और छोटे से लॉन्च के बाद आप वॉक करके प्लेन में बैठ जाते थे. और आज अगर एक लेटेस्ट किसी एयरपोर्ट की बात करते हैं, अगर आप स्विट्जरलैंड का लें या टॉप ऑफ द यूएस के लें या इंडिया के आज लें, तो दैट्स अ फुल ऑफ एक्सपीरियंशियल स्टेज दे आर ऑफरिंग. सिमिलरली हमारे शॉपिंग कल्चर में, जैसे एयरपोर्ट में आज आपकी एरो सिटी है, ग्रीन पार्क्स हैं, डिफरेंट ब्रांड्स हैं, फूड एक्सपीरियंस है, वॉकिंग है, देयर प्लेंटी ऑफ एक्सपीरियंसेस with your flying journey. Similarly, shopping has been added with various amenities and experiential places. As I told last time also, it is all about a good, elegant social spaces. We need to spend time, quality time as a family over there. मैं बात करूं अपने एस्टीम्ड को पैनलिस्ट की, तो सपोज अगर बियर की भी बात होती है तो मैं शायद अपने अगले प्रोजेक्ट में एक बहुत अच्छे पार्क में, जहाँ पे शाम का क्रिकेट मैच लाइव हो रहा हो, वाटर बॉडी के साथ हो और बगल में बियर कैफ़े हो, तो वो एक्सपीरियंस एक अलग होगा. एम्पी थिएटर है, टीवी लगा हुआ है, मैच वॉच कर रहे हैं, बियर एंजॉय कर रहे हैं, डांस कर रहे हैं, और जब अगर फोरर और सिक्सर लग रहे हैं तो हम सेलिब्रेट भी कर रहे हैं. तो अब इन एक्सपीरियंसेस की बात हो रही है. तो देयर इज़ ए ग्रेट पैराडाइम शिफ्ट इन ओवरऑल पैरामीटर्स ऑफ द एक्सपीरियंशियल मार्केटिंग इन रिटेल स्पेसेस. तो हम बहुत सारी चीज़ें ऐड कर रहे हैं, बहुत सारी एमिनिटीज़ दे रहे हैं, बच्चों के लिए आइस स्केटिंग डांस भी दे रहे हैं. आप हाई स्ट्रीट भी हर मॉल के साथ देने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि आप शाम का एक क्वालिटी टाइम वॉक करते हुए वाटर बॉडी के साथ गुजारें. हम पार्क में लीड सर्टिफिकेशन भी ले रहे हैं और उनमें मिस्ट पार्क भी डेवलप कर रहे हैं. तो इस तरह के बहुत सारे पैरामीटर ऐड हो रहे हैं मॉल्स को, रिटेल स्पेस को एक डिफरेंट पैराडाइम शिफ्ट देने की. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Salil, sir. You know, these prospects are truly spectacular in my sense as a consumer, because I would surely want to experience much more than going just for shopping, because if I really want to just shop, I can do it online. Right? So moving on to you, Rahul, on that note, same question. If you can describe the current, scenario of immersive and experiential retail in the country, how would you do?
To answer your first question, you said give me one word.
One word.
One word is emotion.
Emotion.
Experience is emotion, and emotion is translating into obviously everybody wanting to share the emotions. So I think the generation, with 340 million Gen Zs right now, they're the ones who are actually spending. They're all looking at those emotions and they want to share the emotions, and that's why emojis are so alive. Every possible post has a single emoji and it describes the entire emotion. My generation would write the whole thesis, or write like 5 lines around it. The generation today just puts just one simple emoji.
Yeah.
What's an emoji? It's an
Yeah.
emotion, right?
Yeah.
I think so. That's what's happening. It's a curious generation which wants to experience. My generation, for example, would be more material pursuits,
Yeah.
more necessities. But I think today they just don't care. They don't want material pursuits. They won't even want a house or a car.
Yeah.
They want experiences.
Yeah.
And I would obviously segue this into, let's see where the concert economy is running. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
It's crazy, and it's just happened over the last 1 year.
Yeah.
It's people are saving money for these concerts.
Yeah.
What's a concert? It's
Yeah.
an experience.
Experiential marketing.
You can
yeah,
always
they
see
help.
the concert on your phone, but
Yeah.
know that experience.
Experience.
And then sharing that.
Yeah.
Everybody is like sharing. I know
Yeah.
people who are like being paid to share now. You know,
Yeah.
so that kind
Yeah.
of stuff.
Yeah.
Because we deal with a lot of influencers, and we see that why are people coming in? Because they're like getting influenced by them. So the entire marketing has changed. For sure, we are an experiential company. That's what we want to do, because if I'm selling a beer which is already prepared,
Yeah.
I'm just chilling it.
Yeah.
And I'm selling it at a very high price.
Yeah.
So the only difference there is not the price, it's the
It's the
experience I provide. Yeah?
But tell me,
Yeah.
see, you have a beer cafe, a lot of beer
Yep,
cafes
yep.
apparently. When a Gen Z comes to your
Yep.
store, what experience do they demand?
So I think first of all, they're coming to socialize.
Like apart from having a good beer,
No,
of course.
that's
That's
housekeeping
mandatory,
today. That's
yeah.
housekeeping for me.
Okay.
Keeping the beer chilled, keeping the beer fresh, keeping the nuances of beer is like given in. That's like given in. No, to hoga hi hoga. I think what they're looking at is a social gathering. So they're either coming with friends or family, and they're looking at a very safe environment. But most importantly, they want to share it. I like every time the generation is just sharing. I'm like actually telling these people, get your phone away. Experience it, just get your phone away.
Yeah.
But they want the phone, I call it the screenagers.
Yeah,
They're all
yeah.
screenagers. They're always on the screen.
Yeah.
So it is, yeah. But
And
I
it's tough to move them away from
no,
their
yeah.
screens
So
for
I
a
think
while,
that's
right?
something we need to do, because I think you need to experience. Take your time. You're coming here to de-stress. Don't get too much of electronics on you. But that's the way it is. Yeah.
All right, moving on to you, Vishal. What do you think about this whole experiential retail space? In a word.
So if I have to give a word, after what Rahul said, emotions is, I will say experience. Experience. So I'm from Taco Bell, and what I have seen, right, the brand of Taco Bell, when there is likewise other brands which are there in the market, which are, almost 2 decades old.
Yeah.
So I see how do I get the Taco Bell audience at the store. So what we did, I would like to explain that, is we did innovation in products. So yes, Taco Bell as an international brand, it's been seen by, it's one of the best brands in the world. But still, when you're coming to India, you need to have the different outlook towards it. First 1 decade, we were like working on it. We were only going with authentic Taco Bell, which is selling. But right now, just to give you a good news, that we are selling Indianized tacos. So we are selling chicken lababdar, we are selling paneer tikka taco. In fact, almost 15 to 20 products we have added. So I think experience, when a customer is coming, his experience towards the product also has to be good. And it has to be with the palate of the country. So so that's what we are doing right now. And I think second point of view I would like to add is that experience also comes with the look and feel of the store. So something different I would like to add in this communication is you go to McDonald's, you go to KFC, you go to Pizza Hut, you've been seeing that brand, and so you know that what is the amount of money you're going to spend there.
Yeah.
But for Taco Bell, it was like they used to think like, is it a dining concept or a QSR concept? That was a question for us.
Yeah.
So what we did, we have just changed our look and feel of the store, making more into a QSR concept, which is already we are, and we are seeing great footfalls. So I think the experience which I'm a brand in India where you can say that I have gone through a lot of stages. 140 stores now. 500 will be opening stores next 5 years. But this journey right now, after a decade, we are correcting the brand, and I think the experiment which we are doing right now is working very well. I think third point I would like to add is on experiences more about is experiencing what is the money I'm going to spend on the store.
Yeah.
So we have come with value meals. So we saw likewise brand doing value meal. We were never into value meal. And astonishingly, the amount of like 59 to 89 rupees a taco, a fries and a Pepsi.
Wow.
We are doing our a month till date sales last quarter has done humongously double-digit growth. So I think experiment also comes with the cost. and the
Cost,
cost has
yeah.
to be given to the customer in the right way.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I would say. An experience it comes with, the experiencing the stores, experiencing the product, and importantly, how it is experienced in terms of your costing, which we the customers look into.
No,
So
of
that's
course.
what we do.
Now I would like to move on to customer expectations. But before that, let's make you all the consumers first, right?
Sure.
You are the consumers yourselves. So, how would you sort of describe your expectations when you go to a mall or when you go to any place,
Yeah.
be it a food cafe, be it a beer cafe? What is your experience, starting with you, Salil, because we are speaking to this generation as well, right? So I am sure that the expectations of your generations are totally different from what Gen Zs are demanding as per now. Salil sir, what is your expectation?
Uh, See, my expectation will odd be a because nowadays, of course, we are not of that generation, Gen Z or Gen AI, but let me see, my first expectation will all be a great arrival experience. Whenever I enter, I get welcome. There has to be a little bit perfumery sense, good feeling. The moment you enter, you should have good feeling, courteous service.
Yeah.
We have, of course, whereas there's a benchmark in the country. So good hospitality experience along with the quality of the stuff which is being served. And lastly, the overall experience. Customer doesn't pay only for the food stuff
Food,
or
yeah.
F&B.
Yeah.
He pays for the experience.
Yeah.
And as per the policy of the psychology, you pay what you get.
Yeah.
And secondly, the price is what customer can pay for it. If we don't mind if the price is say 3,000 rupees a piece of any F&B, but it should be deserving that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there has to be an appropriate experiential environment and overall experience. If that is good, I'm happy.
All right. So we heard just from Salil sir, and I think you two should take a note on that. But before that, Rahul, what are you expecting as a consumer?
I think good news is there are three generations consuming at this point
Yeah.
in time. So earlier, let's say a generation would consume. Today, the Gen X is
Yeah.
consuming, the millennials consume, and Gen Z is like
Gen
the
Zs,
biggest one. All three are consuming, and they all three are. So if you go to a concert or you go to any place, you'll see all three generations today. You'll be able to see.
Yeah.
So that's the best part. So it's kind of a melting pot now. So all the generations are together.
Yeah.
They're also enjoying themselves together. So it's not like I've got an age difference. That's not matter. Now, obviously, if that is the case, and all generations are experiencing, now you cannot go and address a generation.
Yeah.
So your entire experience has to be wholesome. And that's the biggest problem for us. How do I basically try and convince the three generation consumer at the same time? Because your communications cannot be
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
So what we focus on is what we call hospitality. That is something, it's completely generational agnostic. Everybody wants hospitality. 200 years back, 100 years back, another 100 years. We are not in the food service business. A lot of people say, you are in the service business. No, I'm not a QSR. I'm a hospitality. That's the
Yeah.
big difference between off the
Yeah.
transaction
Yeah.
and hospitality.
Yeah.
You cannot ever
Yeah.
devalue hospitality.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Because you'll pay for anything for
Yeah,
hospitality.
sure.
That is an experience again. So that's the whole game. It's all about our own staff and our own team looking at it that I'm not serving, I'm actually being a hospitality team player. That's the big difference for us. So it's the
Correct.
change we have done, which automatically then percolates to you. Look at any bar that you go to in the world. If you know the bartender well, you'll go back to that place
Yeah,
again. You really don't care.
absolutely.
Then nothing matters.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
matters is the eye contact that you
Yeah,
have.
the
with this
personal
particular-
connection
That's
that you
exactly
have.
what it is. So this is what. So my business is all about hospitality, and obviously experience is part of that whole hospitality. That's how it works.
Moving on to you, Vishal, like as a consumer, what are you expecting? Because when Rahul was speaking, Vishal was really amused and he was really interested in what Rahul was
different
speaking. So I
generations,
really
right?
want to know what does he think about it.
So I think I can relate to what Rahul said because again we share the same hospitality industry. So again I'll tell you explain you on the Taco Bell front. We are also a Gen Z generation brand. So worldwide it is Live Mass. So Live Mass basically is more about Gen Z, and so what we do, come on the table of a Gen Z generation is more about giving them the right product. Today, customer is have varieties with others, but we are able to serve them. So I like to add a communication where we just went to an ad, we do an ad in some time of back where we have just told that burgers, pizzas are there, but you should try taco in your office or in your college. So my point I want to make is that we have got different products right now. Rather than be your cheesy tacos, rather than be getting into coffee, we got coffee also. So I
Yeah.
think what we understood again, taking into that after a decade, that we need to innovate our products, and I think that has helped us. And I can purely relate to this because I also go to store and I also see that the Gen Zs are the people who are gonna be there in the who are the people who are going to the store for us. So I think as a Taco Bell, as a brand, we are trying our best to serve them with our best of cheesy tacos, best of coffees, and I think I'm sure you'll be aware of that. We serve unlimited Pepsis also. So yes, so I can purely relate. Gen Z generations are one people who are coming to our store, and we are trying our best to serve them.
All right, now I know that how you are creating experience, and while I asked you about the consumer expectations, but you also told about what your consumers are expecting and not just what you are expecting. Right, on that note, I would like to come to you, Salil sir. See, we are all talking about experiential retail, but how does it really look like in action? Like if you can share any successful experiential concepts that you have introduced or you have seen in a while.
See, like I says, the concept is experiential. तो हम जो एक्सपीरियंशियल रिटेल पहली बार इंडिया में ला रहे हैं, इसमें अगर हम नंबर्स की बात करें तो हमने करीब 32 एक्सपीरियंस डिफरेंट देने की कोशिश की है. कोशिश नहीं की, हम कामयाबी से दे रहे हैं. द मोमेंट यू एंटर, यू हैव ए नाइस वाटर लाइक दिस, उसमें से आप पास होते हैं. राइट हैंड साइड यू हैव ए नाइस
Yeah.
proposal point.
Yeah.
You can propose to your fiance, your wife, your marriage anniversary, whatever. Then you have a nice amphitheater with music, band, everything. Then you have a straight, high street again with the water bodies in the shadow. So you can walk very well. You can have F&B experience.
Everything under one roof.
Yeah, and you have a F&B like you have walking in Europe kind of thing that we have developed.
Okay.
Then left hand side you could do the mall, and suppose for a beer cafe we have developed a small amphitheater with TV screen to watch match and have your beer around the corner. So, and suppose if you want to walk something, you have air conditioned pod in the water. You can take your laptop and do couple of your office job as well.
Yeah.
You have a mist park. So, n number of facilities and different experiences we have given. And it will be very engaging also as a good social place. We are developing theater also within our campus.
Yeah.
You can have play theater. Like within a mall, I don't find your regular
Playing, yeah.
plays are. So that, but we are giving that kind of facility. So overall, what I say, अगर हिंदी में बोलें तो जैसे आपका अर्थ, वाटर, एयर, आकाश एंड फायर, ये 5 एलिमेंट्स की हार्मोनी क्रिएट की है हमने. इसका जो कॉन्सेप्ट है, दैट इज हार्मोनी ऑफ 5 एलिमेंट्स, दैट एवरी एलिमेंट हैज बीन गिवन इन अबेंडेंस एट दैट पर्टिकुलर प्लेस. सो आपको वहाँ पीस भी मिल रही है, आपको फायरिंग दैट एक बढ़िया बहुत लाउड म्यूजिक वाला लाउंज भी मिलेगा. सो ऑल एलिमेंट्स हैव बीन वेल कवर्ड. सो विद लॉट ऑफ रिसर्च, like my fellow partner said, panelist, this is about all generation taken care.
Yeah.
That is the concept we are adopting along with the hospitality.
Yeah.
And even we are providing that if countryside my customers are coming, they have a good place to stay over for a night as well, managed by a good 5-star chain. That is the concept, is total hospitality along with the harmony of all elements. That concept we are trying to give.
All right, that's really interesting about the 5 elements you spoke about. But I want to ask you, Vishal, see, we are talking about experiential retail and everything, but does it really does it really have any impact on the footfall? Is there a direct correlation between the experience that you are selling and also the increase in footfall?
A very good question, firstly. I can relate it again, talking about Taco Bell right now. is I was just telling you that we were customer were when they were entering Taco Bell, it was more about a dining concept they were looking at. And now what we have done, we have changed the format. We are getting to a lot of colors inside. We have got a lot of graffitis inside. We have mentioned a lot of product shots on the walls, and we have made an experience of a QSR. So I think the footfalls has increased. So that's one. Second, I just added to earlier also that yeah, but the prices are a very important thing. So pricing also has changed the turnaround, the sales for us for Taco Bell in India, where we are getting into that 59, 89 rupees, and customer doesn't think that he's gonna spend about 1,000 rupees going to a Taco Bell. Now he can easily spend about 100 or maybe less than that money and get a taco, fries, and a Pepsi. So yes, that also has helped to increase the footfalls. So I can surely correlate to your point that footfalls, always you have to make sure that you give the right experience to the customer, and making the right, the size of the store, the product has to be, the palette of the customers, and giving the pricing right,
Yeah.
the footfalls will surely increase.
All
That's
right.
from me.
On that note, see, I also want to talk about technology, and I will come to you, Rahul, as a consumer and both as a retailer. Right, we are talking so much about technology, the AR and VR, AI, and everything under the roof, but how much of this is becoming mainstream and how much is it just experimental? Like, where are we currently? What are you seeing?
Are you talking from a consumer perspective or
Both,
from
from both
okay.
perspective.
So I think consumer, for example, wants to share the experiences. So it's purely social media. They're not doing anything beyond the social media. It could be the gram, it could be, obviously there's no Facebook left now, but they're basically all over the gram where they're sharing their emotions. But when it comes to people like us who are like, the retailer, if you want to call it, or the restaurateur here, technology is a very important part. And I actually call it like the ducks effect. So the way we use a lot of technology, because if you're running 20 cities and you got a bunch of places to run, and it's a lot of moving parts. And our issues are always hyper-local, the real-time dynamic. And when you're dealing with liquor, you're also looking at states, and it becomes a very regulated product, right? Technology plays a big role. And I call it the ducks effect. I'll tell you why. From our perspective, we want the duck to be seen on the lake as if it's placid, like nothing. The duck is just, but the real work is going on below the water, because the duck's paddling. That's what we do. So technology is an enabler for me. I'm not dependent on technology. If technology fails, I can still serve. But technology really helps us. We do a lot of technology. A lot of technology. You can't imagine the amount of technology you put in. Because that's the only way you can be relevant and you can live up to the promise of the consumer. Because the only thing in retail to me, the word I use is promise. Are you living up? You can make any concept. Like Sir said about concepts. I can pay anybody to make concepts. Can you endure the concept?
Yeah.
Can you live up to that promise? बनाना तो आसान है, निभा के दिखाओ. That's where the game starts.
Yeah.
And
And I remember they say that retail is detail.
Only retail.
Right?
That's only retail. Absolutely.
All right, on that.
Yeah, I
Yes,
have
sir.
one note that it is very easy to develop a retail space or even experiential retail. The challenge is a nice experiential operations management.
Yeah.
So we have to have a nice operation management. And let me tell you, not only that, we as a developer are working on how to control the footfall. Because this is a lovely country having adequate number of people to come to our experiential mall. And if your brand mix is good, your experiences are good, there is a challenge how to control the footfall. We are working on that mechanism also. That's a good news for all our brands.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I
No,
agree.
absolutely. See, you are creating an experiential mall, right? So I don't feel that this is the right question to ask you, but as a consumer, see, we are talking about experiential retail. Like I introduced this panel by saying, is it just a passing trend or is it here to stay? Because when Gen AI come, everyone was thinking about if it is a passing trend or is it here to stay. And a lot of companies just talk about using Gen AI, but they're still not there. And similarly, this is what happened at the .com time when we had a .com bubble, right? So we can sort of correlate with the experiential thing here. So you are creating your experiential mall, but from a consumer perspective, you think it's here to stay?
मैं कुछ बातें बताना चाहता हूँ वेरी शॉर्ट में. आज मेरे देश की परचेजिंग पावर पैरिटी करीब 4 से 4.5 लाख डॉलर US डॉलर में आपकी $1 ट्रिलियन में. और अगले 5 सालों में ये 12 यूएस ट्रिलियन डॉलर से ऊपर जा रही है। अगर 5 साल में मेरा इतना फिनोमिनल ग्रोथ हो रहा है और मेरी अभी यंग पॉपुलेशन की जो एक्सपेंडिचर पावर है वो बेस्ट होने जा रही है पूरे वर्ल्ड में, तो मेरे पास इतना अच्छा मार्केट दिख रहा है इंडिया में, बशर्ते हम उन्हें एक्सपीरियंसेस अच्छे दे पाएँ। तो मैं जितना एक्सपीरियंस बढ़ाऊंगा उतना मेरा प्रॉफिट आगे जाने वाला है। तो it is going to be extremely win-win. If I good experiences, people are ready to act for the expenditure, but there should be good taker. I
Taker,
repeat,
yeah.
good taker,
Taker.
then they are ready to
Yeah.
give their money to us.
Yeah, the supply and demand has to be on the same scale,
Correct.
right? Now, since we have very limited time with us and we're going to end this panel soon, but I want to end this panel with some great parting words. And you both have this responsibility, right? So looking ahead, you know, what if you had to predict the one biggest shift in experiential retail over the upcoming few years, what would that be? Be very brief, just one line each of you, starting with you, Rahul.
So I think the future is definitely a lot to do with technology. It will help you in a many way, even from a consumer perspective, to predict what they want. I think that predictive analysis, which we use in business, would probably also relate to consumers. Like people are now started to do let's say I want to make a trip. Gen AI is now actually creating that trip for you.
Yeah.
So I think that is very, very important. So I think the consumers will start using a lot of technology to actually save time. It's all about saving time and getting the best output. Technology does that for you. That's what it is. It's going to save your time.
Yeah.
So if it can save your time, why not? Like look at mobility. We didn't have cars. You could do it on an app. Today everybody's on the app trying to get from one place to another. So I think it's the technology world ahead. Anybody who doesn't embrace this technology in retail is not going to be relevant. And if you're not relevant, you don't adapt, you die. As simple as that.
All right,
Yeah.
you won't adapt, you'll die. So, but you know, coming to you, Vishal, see, Rahul has spoken a lot of things, and he has taken a lot of things. He has spoken everything with the best parting words that he could say. But Vishal, let's change the lens a bit, right? From consumer perspective, you are the consumer now. What are you expecting in the next 3 to 4 years from these retailers?
So I'll answer your both the questions. What is the big shift, and as a consumer also. So I think the big shift which I would like to accept what as Rahul said is customer is demanding and they need on quick. So I think the big shift which I see that is the quick commerce industry.
Already
All
happened,
right,
yeah.
all
The quick commerce industry is making a bang on for us for food players also, for retail also. So big shift as a consumer also. Now coming to your question.
Yeah.
Is I want in 10 minutes, I want in 15 minutes. If I want to have a blazer to going to an event, I can get in 10 minutes from the aggregators.
Wow.
Yeah.
If I want to have a food I can in 10 minutes a coffee. I'm
Yeah.
sitting here, I don't want to do anything. So I think the big shift which I see in Indian is worldwide is seeing is India is going on the quick commerce industry.
Yeah, and now
very
that
well.
we have tasted the blood, we would want everything under 10
Yeah, yeah,
minutes, right? Is it?
I have a 2 word only.
Yeah.
Think beyond.
Okay.
That's all.
Think beyond on that note. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for
Thank
being
you.
a part of this wonderful
Thank you very much.
discussion.
Thank you.
It was
Thank you.
really insightful. And to our viewers, you know, clearly experiential retail is no longer just a buzzword. It's a powerful tool that's redefining now customers and how customers interact with brands, whether it's tech-driven personalization, immersive store formats, or blending retail with entertainment and hospitality. The possibilities are, of course, endless, and a big thank you to all the panelists for sharing their wonderful insights with us. To our audience, thank you for joining us here for this conversation at GIRS 2025 powered by ET Studios. Stay tuned for many more such exciting conversations shaping the future of retail.